Welcome back, Rare Talks. Really know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you go over to the Spotify and check out what we got on the Spotify going for you. Yeah. Check that out now. But on another note, today we're back, and I just like to say that we're going to be talking about something that we all kind of knew, but let's just say for argument's sake, a lot of people didn't discover. We're going to be just discussing a conspiracy theory that has that we knew about. So what do we know about the COVID-19 lab leak theory? So we're going to do a reaction video to this. It's from one of the most unreliable sources, which is BBC News, but we move. Let's go.
The theory that the COVID pandemic was caused by a leak from a Chinese government-controlled lab was largely dismissed by mainstream scientists at the start of the pandemic. Famously and influentially, this letter to The Lancet in February of 2020, signed by 24 scientists.
We stand together to strongly condemn conspiracy theories suggesting that COVID-19 does not have a natural origin.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump argued the opposite.
Have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have.
Many in America.
Man like Donald Trump said, yeah, I've seen things that have told me that this thing is a conspiracy. You know what's funny, yeah? As much as people say they don't like Donald Trump, yeah, one thing I respect about Donald Trump is his honesty, and you can't doubt a man on his honesty. Any man that's honest to me is a real man. He just doesn't care. He said what he said, and he said it with chest. He's always said that this whole thing was a China made. And everyone's talking about Wuhan, this, that, and the other. I'm 100% sure that China wanted to show their real power. You see, people think wars are going to be won by bullets and nuclear weapons. You got mistaken. Nuclear bombs destroy everything. Ain't nobody want that. But how I can destroy a country is if I put the whole world on pause for 2 years. The world was on pause for 2 years. Do you lot remember that? I know a lot of us are like, huh? Bare question marks, like, what? Yes, we was on pause for 2 years. For 2 years of our lives, we was on pause. We didn't know what was going on. There was new things coming up. Line up, do this. We were like robots. It's like a simulation. If there was to ever bring something out like that again, we know exactly how to act and how we would move. It'd be easier to contain us because they've already done the social experiment already. People are losing their minds online. I'm being honest with you. I saw a lot of grown men that I respected start talking about let's have a boxing match. I'll punch you up. It was ridiculous. So I know that this thing was bigger than what they said. You see, COVID-19 might look like it's gone, but what's the psychological effect that it's affected people? From what I've seen, people are outside for real now, and people are dying because of this. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But 100%, Donald Trump got it 1,000,000% right.
And beyond took their cue on what to believe based on what they thought of Donald Trump.
We know that it's been debunked that this virus was man-made or modified or anything like that, but as you
skip forward 3 years, and Donald Trump has left the White House, and there is less certainty in the natural origins theory. This week, the FBI director, for the first time publicly, gave the agency's official position.
The FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan.
This comes on top of leaked extracts of a report by the US Department of Energy that concluded that the lab leak was the most likely hypothesis, although it did apparently flag this as a low-confidence conclusion. Although the details of the report haven't been released, there are several factors that seem to point away from a naturally occurring virus. The structure of the virus is different in some key details from known viruses of a similar type. The differences can only be explained, according to some scientists, by so-called gain-of-function research. That is, intentionally manipulating a virus to make it more contagious with the hope of learning more of how to prevent pandemics. Here's a clip of people.
Bro, I don't know what these guys are saying. All it sounds like to me is that China was on some stuff, they made their thing, and they said, flip it. We're going to mash up the whole world and put you lot on pause for 2 years just to show you our might. Because, bro, China was the first country out of lockdown. Bro, I think it was like April, and they'll be like, yeah, we beat COVID-19. I was like, what? Man, I was in lockdown for a couple months, fam. I was in my yard just chilling in March. I never forget it was March the 6th or March something, fam. March is always a significant month to me. So, like, when I saw that, I was like, what? I remember they had me working. These times I was working and they weren't even telling us. Like 2 weeks I was working and they didn't tell us what to do. A man felt like a little bit nervous that this thing's actually real, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, like, it was definitely made in Wuhan. And you know what, yeah? I'm not gonna lie, yeah? All my benches I was saying conspiracy theories, I apologize to you. I actually apologize to you. Because I flopped. Because I was just thinking, yeah, conspiracy. These times you man was on point, fam. It was me, fam. I flopped. I'll be honest. I flopped. But guess what? It happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm big enough to say that this thing wasn't a conspiracy the man them was showing me. But what really upset me was the 5G thing. Because 5G's still here and man them are not dying, bro. COVID-19 and 5G. All you man that said 5G, where you at right now? Because I need to know where you're at so I can talk to you to your face. Because man was smashing things and going mad, fam. I lost internet certain times. Talking about licking down 5G. I got 5G on my phone right now, I ain't dead.
Peter Daszak, president of the Eco Health Alliance, speaking at a conference in 2016.
We found other coronaviruses in bats, a whole host of them. Some of them looked very similar to SARS. So we sequenced the spike protein, the protein that attaches to cells. Then I didn't do this work, but my colleagues in China did the work. You create pseudoparticles, you insert the spike proteins from those viruses, see if they bind to human cells. And each step of this, you move closer and closer to this virus could really become pathogenic in people.
The next problem with the natural origin theory is that 3 years on, we still haven't found a similar enough virus in animals that would account for the spread to humans. With previous natural pandemics like SARS and MERS, intermediate animal hosts, bats and camels, were quickly discovered. One problem that governments are having to consider, suppose they do find categorical proof that a Chinese lab was responsible and, by implication, that the Chinese government has deceived the world. What then, given the untold damage that this virus has caused? Relations between China and the West are bad and deteriorating. For some, it's politically and diplomatically sensible not to dig too deep.
Heard they said? It's politically and sensible not to dig too deep. What they're trying to say is they can't ramp with China. That's what they're basically saying. And let me tell you something, yeah? I don't know about you lot, yeah, but was you lot trying to get deliveries and stuff? But I was finding it hard to get deliveries because everything's made in China, big man. Everything is made in China. Everything is made in China. So, bro, like, you know when you're ordering stuff offline, man's in my yard chilling, trying to order stuff. It's taking long. I'm like, what's going on? This COVID thing really mashed us up, fam. So you see when man's talking about, yeah, if we dig deep and we find something, they can't even say nothing to China. What are you going to say to China? You ain't bad. You think you lot got energy for China? You lot ain't got energy for China. China, bro, have you seen the Chinese army march, fam? Them men are serious dogs. Their women, bro, their women are the definition of ride or die, fam. I don't know if you lot have seen Chinese movies, but them Chinese women could do karate, you know, fam. Bad boys, they're mashing up man in the movies. All assassins, they'll send the assassin woman. She's all taking like 4 men out. Are you lot all right? Man, know what you're ramping with. We can't ramp with China. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure the US owe China. I'm pretty sure. Like, I know there's some trade deal going on and, you know, behind closed doors, they got to take whatever else they got. That's why, if you clock here, there's madness that happen in China, but none of the West can ever talk to them. But they got big chat for Russia. Do you know why? Because Russia has always had, like, a bias against the USA. That's why this proxy war in Ukraine is really for NATO to go and invade Russia. But Russia's not having it. Till the day we do that, we're all finished. And don't think I'm riding out for no flipping Ukraine, bro. I am not fighting for Ukraine. I've already done my video already about Ukraine and how bad Ukraine is. You will never see me fight for Ukraine. But yeah, that's wild anyway. Like, I knew this thing was a whole conspiracy anyway, and I knew that there was more to it than what meets the eye. And everybody that was, and I hate the way that they've banned anything to do with COVID-19, yeah? They put restrictions and they do this, they do that, they do that. Like, they've even got word recognition. So if like, this video is due to have like some like guidelines and all this and all that, because they don't even like us talking about it. Isn't that like a little bit suspect that they don't want us to talk about something that is relevant to us? Like, my brother didn't post anything to do with COVID-19, and they always like mash up his account because of it. But we all know about it. It's not hidden from us. It's real news. So why is it that they're like attacking it like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I definitely know I'm not an idiot. But shout out to all the people that never took the vaccine. You're a don. And to all the weirdos that did take to all the weak people that did take the vaccine and was promoting it. Because you know there was a couple man that was promoting it, influencers. They were like, yeah, I got my COVID-19 jab. I'll never forget you, certain podcasters. I'm not going to say your name. I'm not giving you no clout. But you guys that were doing that, look now at the reverse. There's no vaccine. I can still travel the world. You lot got scared and got into it. Now, certain people have had heart problems. My mum had water on her lungs after she took the second booster jab, whatever, nearly killed her. And I told her not to do it. This thing is not what you think it is. Now, the vaccine, they're saying that we're going to have to wait 2 or 3 years to see the effects of what it will do because it was untested. We created it too fast. But that's what everyone was saying anyway. Of course you created it too fast. Now we're in a problem like, people don't know what's happening with their bodies. You know what I'm saying? But be careful, people, innit? Like, that's all I can say to you. Don't be quick to say people are conspiracy theorists. Study everything and have patience. Because patience, everything becomes clear after time. But at the moment that it's happening, you can't see, it's unclear. But after the smoke clears, you'll be able to see it. Never, ever be too quick and too hasty to make a judgment on anything that you are not 100% sure on. But anyway, we're out. Rare Talks. Bow!